So I've come down to some local woodlands today to see if I can get a woodland photograph of some sort. I've got my large format camera with me, so I'll see what happens. I was hoping for some mist, but there isn't any, unfortunately, but we'll have to see what we can find in these woods. I have been here before. It's only about 20 minutes from home, so it's quite good to come and have a wander around. There's some quite interesting collections of trees as well, so I'm just going to have a wander around, see what I can find. I've got black and white and colour film, so I'll make a decision based on compositions that I can find as to which one to use. But yeah, it's good to be out. Okay, so I've set my first composition up. I've got a fallen tree here, which you can't see at the moment, but I'll show you in a minute. And there's some bark on it and some nice S twists. Some of the bark's fallen off, so I've got smooth wood, almost like a driftwood effect, and then I've got the texture of the bark that's still there. So I've set a composition up. I've used my 150mm lens, which is about a normal lens on a 35mm camera. I've got quite a shallow depth of field on here, so I've got focused in on some detail on the branch as it curves around into the background, and so it should be quite interesting. There's quite a lot of textures in this tree. So I'm going to do it in black and white, which is going to be Fomapan 100 sheet film. So I'll get that film out, get ready, and take the picture. I don't think I need to sort of hang around for light. It's quite flat, the light at the minute, although it is 6:30 in the morning. The sun's just coming up over in that direction, but it's quite heavy woodland, so it's not really breaking through. So I'll take this photo now, and then we'll have a wander and see what else there is to see here. So it's always a good idea to test fire the shutter to make sure everything's working properly. So that checks out. I've got a aperture of f4.5, which is wide open for this lens, and the meter reading's given me a 30th of a second, so I'm ready to go. So I'll just pull the dark slide out. So that's the first shot of the morning done. So I'm going to pack up and we'll have another wander around. There's a couple of more locations that I'm familiar with. They've got some nice arrangements of trees, so I'm going to go and try and find those and see what we can set up. So the sun's getting a bit higher in the sky now, so I'm getting some nice light on some of the higher branches, so I might be able to get something interesting. There's a location that I've taken a photo of before, which I'm sort of working my way down to now, so there might be some nice light there, but we'll see. But coming away from the last location, I did spot a tree that I might go back to on the way back. That would be a colour shot though. It's a tree. The bark is just a brilliant orange colour, so that looked quite eye-catching. So we'll see what that looks like when I make my way back. But onwards and upwards. Let's see if I can find this location. Yeah, so this is the location I was talking about earlier, with these tall spindly trees. But when I've come to this place before, there was not so much foliage, so the trees stood out a lot better from the background. So I'm not actually convinced there is a photo here today. Yeah, I've decided this isn't going to work, so I'm going to have a bit of a further look elsewhere. But I think it might be better at sunset rather than early in the morning, but it's definitely better in autumn and winter when there's not so much foliage. But it was worth coming out to have a look at. It's only 20 minutes away after all, so I'll have a bit of a wander and see if there's anything else. Failing that, I'll go back to that tree that I talked about, the one with the orange bark, and see if we can get something with that. Okay, so this is the tree I was talking about with this sort of vibrant orange coloration on the bark. So I think I'm going to break the camera out and try and get a photo of this. I might go in quite close, so I've got the tree in one half of the frame and the background in the other half, because they're complementary colours here, so I think it'd be quite interesting. But I'll get the camera out and set up, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I framed this composition up. I've got the tree in the left half of the frame and the background in the right hand side. Because I'm quite close and I'm using a shallow depth of field, the tree is in sharp focus and the background is just a sort of a sea of bokeh of green, and it's nice because the orange and the green obviously being complementary colours, it should look quite nice. I have used some front swing on the front standard this time, because this aspect of the tree is sort of going away from the camera, so it slowly drifts out of focus, and by adding some swing I can control that, so the most of the surface of the bark here is in focus. The background is completely out of focus, so yeah, looking forward to how this one will turn out. So I'll pop some Kodak Ektar in and we'll take this shot. There is some dappled sunlight coming through, so I'll probably just wait around to see if the light changes. But yeah, I think this one will come out quite well. So the camera settings for this one then are an aperture of f5.6, and my light meter has given me a shutter speed of 1/8 of a second. Now when the sun comes through the foliage and lights the tree up, it goes to a 15th of a second, but that's fine. Ektar can tolerate sort of 5 stops of overexposure, so I'm going to stick with 1/8 of a second and just wait out for the light. And actually there is it's looking quite good now actually, so I'll just test fire this. Of course the sun's gone in now again. I'll just wait a bit longer, and as soon as the sun lights this branch up again, I'm gonna take this picture. Right, here we go then. I'm going to take this shot now because the sunlight's looking quite good. I think that's that one all wrapped up. all packed up now and heading back to the car. It's been quite a pleasant morning, although it has been ridiculously hot the past couple of days, and it's getting quite hot now, even at just after 8 o'clock in the morning. So I'll get back and get my black and white photo processed, and I'll send the colour one off to the lab. And if they've turned out, you've already seen them in this video. So with that, once again, I'd appreciate if you consider subscribing to my channel. Leave a comment and a like if you like this video, and hope to see you on the next one.